We gon' put your business on display. Yeah, 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 yeah. We gon' put your business on display. I got winners on the way. You know you can't knock the hustle. And if you gotta get in place, then we gon' put your business on display. Grab a seat with Nisha for a minute. And if you got the goods, we can talk about your business. She know what it's like to make a move independently. And I don't fake it's like that. We've been trusting God like that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, we gon' put your business on display.
Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, wherever you are today, whether it's morning, noon, or night. And I say that because I have some new family in Okinawa, Japan, which you all will be hearing from pretty soon. But I'm super excited to be here today, as I am always, just to share, put people's business on display, talk about relationships. Well, today, I am super grateful to have one of my family sisters with me, because everybody says, "Oh, is that your sister too?" And it has been said that this person has been my sister. But I have the privilege of introducing to you all one of my very dear sister friends, and that's none other than Dr. Stephanie Spicer.
Hi, Nisha.
Hi, Steph. So I'm gonna give a little intro, and then I'll let you introduce yourself. But I'll never forget it. I was going through a really difficult storm, probably I'm gonna say 18 years ago now. Wow,
Wow is right.
18 years. Has it been 18? Yes. How does Shane?
Shane is 17. So that was he
You're
was incubating, right?
He was incubating, exactly. So his birthday is coming, so that's why. Okay, so anyway, and I was doing hair, and I met Steph at church, and she was pregnant with my Shane Spicer, and I just want to thank God for you, because she came in my life. God like swooped her and Sheldon in our lives, like at a time where we were like needing some nurturing, a little extra TLC. I mean, we probably bamboozled our house with our big old family more than one time with baby showers, bridal showers. I just go back down memory lane, and it has been an amazing journey. But I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself, and then we'll get into talking about a little bit of stuff about the business. But I think it's just going to be a great conversation.
Well,
So
clearly, I am Nisha's family.
yeah.
I'm Dr. Stephanie Spicer. I am a wife of Sheldon Spicer, mother of two fine boys, Sean and Shane. And I'm also the founder and owner of Foot and Ankle Group, located in Olympia Fields, Illinois. I am a podiatric physician and surgeon. And basically, what that means is I specialize in everything below the knee. So, ankle, foot issues.
Ankle, foot, below the knee, leg, because she helped me with my leg too. I finally got the word right, gastrocnemius. Did I say it right?
Gastrocnemius.
Gastrocnemius. Oh well. But
That was
anyway,
close.
I was close.
Good.
Well, anyway, that was some years ago. We won't want to see those days again. So I'm really glad to talk to you. What we're going to talk about. I put on the advertisement that my feet hurt, and it's so interesting that when I was a little girl, I was 3 years old. An iron fell on my foot, and I had third-degree burns. And then later on, I had suffered with ingrown toenails, and I had to see a podiatrist for like the first 7 years of after age 3, all the way up till I was 11. And then I got married. I got my toenail removed. I'm being real transparent right now. And
Yes, you
then
are.
I broke my ankle like 3 times before I met Steph, pre-Steph. And then Dr. Spicer. And then I meet someone who was very dear to me for more than one reason. And that is not only sisterhood, friendship, but it's like, what are the chances with all my feet problems that I've had that I become really close to a podiatric surgeon? That is so funny to me. And I said the devil always wanted to keep me off my right foot, but it's like then when I met you, start having trouble with my left feet. So anyway, let's just say nothing is by accident. And for that,
Yeah.
I am grateful. And I can
Yes.
attest to the fact that through others as well as myself, that you are a fine physician in this field. And I really appreciate you. So tell us a little bit about what made you really even want to go into podiatry.
Well, I knew as a child actually that I wanted to go into healthcare. And I was pretty much a math and science child. And I had this awesome counselor, Nisha, when I was in college. She was a female. And she asked me what specialty of medicine did I want to go into. And when you're young, it was like, I'm not sure. So she asked me, well, what else do you want to do besides be a doctor? And I said, oh, I want to get married and have children. And she said to me, profound words. She said, I would suggest that you find a specialty that will allow you to do that and make you happy. That was complex, right? For a young emerging adult, but it made me think about many things, myself, who I am, how I interact with people. And what I discovered was that I probably should go into a non emergency medical specialty. And so I just made a list of them, visited them over a year and a half, and picked a couple and landed in podiatry.
Wow. Okay. Well, I know that we have been talking about a lot of things lately, but I really wanted to just talk about, we were talking about healthcare not too long ago. And with the pandemic, and you joined me, I believe, when we did the Doctor's In segment, I do believe that
Yes.
that
Yeah.
was 2020. And so now fast forward, what do you think? How has healthcare changed? That's what I'm going to say. How has it changed or has it changed? You know what I mean? In regards to post pandemic.
I do think it's changed. Nisha, just like every other industry, healthcare has suffered tremendous loss in that, being front line throughout COVID, people got sick, people took illnesses home, people were horribly stressed and saw things that were egregious, loss of life on a large scale daily. And so, in that regard, it has changed. It's had to make some adaptations to still provide services, but oftentimes with fewer people. And I feel that it actually deserves some grace and compassion, healthcare overall, because it's really made up, our system is made up of human beings that are suffering, but putting on a good face to make sure that other people are cared for. So essentially, it's exhausted and recovering.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, I definitely know it's exhausting and recovering. I was sharing with you a few moments ago just about, being in having an experience in an emergency room and seeing the overload
Mhm.
of patients that seem that you can't be handled in enough time. How has your practice held up within the year? I mean, through the last 2 years? I mean, did you struggle any, or did you just everything just kept afloat?
Oh my gosh, it was an absolute struggle. Again, we're made up of people. And intermittently, we had exposures, we had quarantines, we had times where we had to take mental health breaks just to keep everything going and to mitigate stress. We made it, but I do think it's because we decided as a team to take care of ourselves first
Mm.
before we open the doors to take care of others.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's a mouthful all in itself. And I know that one of your sayings is keeping in step. And I put with Dr. Stephanie. This step, but I want to take a little bit of a spin because I know that a lot of people really don't take care of their feet, and I do know that, and it's not your first priority, even though it should be because they keep you going. And a lot of people I've come in contact with have had swelling of the feet, so then they immediately jump in and see that think they have gout. It appears that podiatry is a specialty, right? So it
Yes,
doesn't
it
seem
is.
like it's something that, is just, oh, that's your common, go to. What do you when should people see a podiatrist? Let's just say that. When should people see a podiatrist? And I know for cosmetic, we'll get to that part, but
Sure.
when should they see them in terms of to keep your health in order?
Well, there's certain disease states and comorbidities that absolutely should see a podiatrist. Probably number one would be anybody with diabetes, because there are so many complications that can occur and be life-threatening within the lower extremity for those people. But beyond that, anybody who has any concern, symptoms, pains, or problems with the lower extremity. I mean, we see everything from, as you mentioned, ingrown toenails to, I actually treat lymphedema,
Mm,
which is, tremendous swelling of the lower extremities. I offer vascular testing in the office, so we have actually saved limbs by detecting early vascular disease.
mm.
So we're an arm of medicine that's probably underutilized and under recognized, but we are integral in keeping people not only healthy, but maintaining a good, healthy lifestyle. Your
Yes,
feet are like your tires on your car. You
yes.
can't get anywhere without them. And if you
Absolutely.
don't have them, it's a slow go, right?
Yes, 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 yes. Well, thinking about this, that prompts my memory from early on as a child. I didn't have pigeon toes, but I know they still exist, or bow leg. My brothers were all pigeon toed. I know I'm just telling all the business, right?
You're
Oh my
transparent.
goodness. Well, Lord Pete. Well, anyway, I think about this though. I don't think about children podiatric surgeons or children podiatrists. So is that even such a thing? And how early, when should parents start to recognize that their kids need to go?
Well, to be honest, I actually see a nice number of children, and I see kids with warts. I see kids with irregular skin lesions. I see children whose development seems less than ordinary. So you mentioned like pigeon toed or knock knees or difficulty walking. Those are all reasons for early evaluation. Um, and they are game changers. The earlier you catch things, diagnose them, then you become proactive as opposed to post-active, chasing the problem.
Yeah, that's really good. Well, listen, you guys, if you're watching right now, you should go to Foot and Ankle Group and go ahead. And I think people need referrals though, too, right? Everybody likes.
Only if you're an HMO. If you have, a PPO, you don't need referrals. You just call and make an appointment. And we predominantly see all insurances. So,
That's good.
mhm.
I wanted to talk a little bit about just the self-care part, because while you're taking care of others, acknowledging that, and which you have acknowledged with me as well, myself, Niche, we're not getting any younger. So you're going to have to take care of yourself. And I really want to just kind of talk about that a little bit, just as sisters, and just, as our children are aging and we're going into a space of the unknown. And that's kind of my thing, the fear of the unknown. When something pops up, I immediately just jump to, oh my gosh, I need to go. From hearing stories or just having that preventative measures, what have you done personally to just really kind of like make sure you take care of Dr. Stephanie Spicer?
Well, in all honesty, since you're being so transparent, I have to confess that I oscillate. I've been inconsistent as of late. to the point where I had a recent illness, went to my doctor, and she told me my tank was empty and that I need to refocus on self-care. So, I think that's very difficult for us working women, for us business owners. Um, by design, we're multitaskers. And I just think, you have to check in with yourself intermittently. And also, I don't think that I absolutely like it all the time, but I do welcome observations of my family or my sisters and my team here at work. Oftentimes people can see things that you can't.
Yeah.
So I, as opposed to getting angry or a little put off by something like that, I've learned to take it home with me and vet it, think it through. And oftentimes it's something that's very helpful and it points out to me, you know what, you need to take care of that.
Yeah. And instead of being defensive also and
Yes.
guarding yourself and saying, you know what, well, that isn't applicable to me or this, that, and the other. And that's what I love about really being a real woman, right? And not wearing those
Big girl, being a big
big
girl.
girl woman, right? Not wearing those superficial hats and different things like that. And I thank you for sharing that because having grown women as children, grown adult women now, sometimes that could be a challenge. And,
Yes.
and even the compassion and the grace of offering, like you were saying, offering healthcare, the grace. I think it's I don't want to stereotype, but I think it's kind of like a lack of impatience amongst our millennial generation. That's what I'm going to call it. Just there's a lack of patience and grace. And I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if you've experienced that through maybe, your journey, but that's some of my experience that there's a lack of patience and a lack of grace. However, you do need it in the healthcare, which brings me to my next point. I've had a couple people who have told me recently that they want to go into podiatry, and I was like really shocked at that because I don't hear it as often. I see people me and older that are doing it, but in high school, I was really surprised by that. So I wanted you to give some of the college students, and I'll share this with them, the upcoming college students, because that's who the audience was. What are some of the things that you recommend that they do in terms of like heading that direction? Because some people were not always scholared to just
Right.
dive off into science and math, you know what I mean? Math and science. So,
Well, again, going back to my college counselor, I think it's really important to visit practitioners. I mean, that's one of the things that helped me make a sound decision. My decision was based on my thoughts for my lifestyle that I wanted. It was based on things that I thought were stimulating and exciting, like doing surgery, helping people. It married with my passions. I think I'm a closet introvert, although I love large groups of people. I do better one-on-one, maybe two. I think that when you're in the environment that you're considering making a career or a profession, it helps you. You feel it, you can say, oh my gosh, this is for me. I love this. Or you're like, no, I think I better look into something else. So that's one of the best things you can do. And from there, also just making sure you connect with people that can help you and seek mentorship at all levels. You
yeah.
can't be it till you see it.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good. Well, also the fact of growing practices and starting to relinquish a little control and hiring more staff. I know that that's something you've currently saying, you know what, I'm going to have to expand and grow. Do you think that the expansion and growth is timely right now with just the climate that we're in after the pandemic? You know what I mean? I know it's for self-care, but just I'm talking about it from the business standpoint.
I think that growth and expansion doesn't have a particular worldly season. I think it's within you.
Mm.
Um, and I feel that, I mean, Nisha, I was counting the years. I'm 27 years in, almost
Wow.
28.
Wow.
I always say 20, and I counted it out today. So I've been practicing for a very long time. I still very much enjoy it. But what I'm finding is what keeps me stimulated is other younger doctors who are coming in excited with all this new information and enthusiasm. So I love that. And I also love creating, and change is good sometimes. It's a lovely thing to change within what you know.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine it's kind of safe.
Yeah.
And I just, and what you said before, self-care, it's time for me to kind of step back a little bit and really focus a little bit more on myself. So it allows me the latitude to do that too. So it's a win, 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 win.
Yes.
And I think it's something that, when you decide it, just take one step, then the next one, and it happens inevitably.
Right. That's so good. Well, I just want to share that I've had the privilege of working at the office a few times.
Yes, that's
Look, I was
true.
employed by the Foot and Ankle Group. Very proud to say the Foot and Ankle Group has helped me pay tuition and do some other things. But it's so interesting that, I always look back at that and laugh because of my journey as a youngster and even throughout all the different foot ailments I've had, that I have somebody up close to it. Then I had the privilege of working there, just helping out for the seasons that I was there, which was so amazing. But while I was there, one of the things that I remember was the Black Podiatry organization that you had, and that there are not many Black podiatrist or even podiatric surgeon that is common to the eye. Let's put it like that.
Yes, I
And
understand.
I've heard that more than one time. So I know that you all had an organization. So I just want to encourage your favorite word, brown people, to say, hey,
Yes.
look into the field, right?
Yes.
So and I want to say that. So how would you encourage, just some of our own children, not stereotyping or anything, but I think it's important in this industry for surgeons to step up, to become more present.
Absolutely. Well, the major organization for Black physicians, which is all inclusive of all specialties,
Okay.
with the exception of dentistry, is the National Medical Association, NMA. And NMA is very proactive with, certainly with residents, and they have annual meetings and conferences, which are inclusive of spouses and medical staff, and also open to people who are interested in the field. And it's huge. It has not only doctors, their specialties and lectures, but it also has vendors and just a wealth of information. So that's a great place to start. And through that, you can find your local potential mentor or practice/doctor that you can call and visit, say, hey, I'm interested. And let me tell you, we love interested young people.
Mm.
So, it's nothing to hesitate, because it's wonderful when somebody comes in and says, oh my gosh, I want to do what you do. It's a lovely reprieve for the mundane stuff we do all day. So it's awesome.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, you guys, it is really exciting to have sat with Dr. Stephanie Spicer, who is my sister. So, I mean, I always count it a privilege, but I definitely want to encourage you to go to the Foot and Ankle Group and check out. You don't have to walk around with bunions, and you don't have to walk around with hammer toes and all the things that or pain. You don't have to walk around in pain. How about that? That is a major thing. Take care of your feet. And with that, keep in step with Dr. Stephanie Spicer. I want her to leave us with some last encouraging words of just how she can encourage you guys to move forward and keeping in step in this life. Go ahead, Steph.
Well, this is something I've been saying to everyone. Nobody wants to hear it, but I'm going to say it anyway. So, one of the most important things that we can do as human beings and particularly as we age, is walk.
Mm.
So I am encouraging everyone who can hear my voice that you need to be walking a minimum, an absolute minimum of 5,000 steps a day in order to keep your machine working properly. And I don't care what age you are. Everyone needs to be doing this. It keeps your heart healthy, keeps your legs healthy, and it keeps you moving. It keeps you in step.
Now that's the truth. And I'm just going to add on to that because thinking about it, sitting at a desk, and there's so many people went home working from home. I mean, I can't imagine how many people have more back problems or more circulation problems or lack thereof.
Yes.
A person that avidly works out, right?
Yes.
Because it is torment for me.
We've become a sedentary society post-COVID. Yeah.
That's horrible. Yeah.
Me too. I'm included. I'm working on it.
So we're going to walk a minimum 5,000 steps a day, you guys, a minimum. That doesn't mean you can't go more. We're going to keep in step with Dr. Stephanie Spicer. Make sure you log on to the Foot and Ankle group and go ahead and schedule your appointments to get all your feet all pretty and to be feeling better and to keep in step. Thank you for today. I appreciate you.
Oh, what a pleasure, Nisha. Thank you for having me, sister.
Thank you. All right, hold tight, Steph. Okay. We'll be back, you guys, soon. And I want to say a special happy birthday to my daughter, Kristen Dean.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday. All right.
Yeah.